Hey, Bryan, this is Phil Loose Man here at KDUX Classic Rock in Aberdeen, Washington. I got Bill Pitts with me. How are you?
I'm doing good.
You and your wife, Kira Small, out touring around right now. But let's get a little background on you, Bryan. I know that you write for Bass Player Magazine.
Yes, it's true.
And you also play bass guitar for Steve Vai, which is pretty awesome.
Thank you.
I mean, well, when you consider the caliber of guitar player of Steve Vai, and you figure he doesn't take out anybody on the road with him, they can't keep up with him. So that's got to be pretty impressive. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Well, I'm just glad he chose me. I mean, I've known him for a while, and I had done a lot of recording with him over the last 10 or 11 years. But I had never been in his actual live rock band. So in 2007, he chose me to go on the road with him, and we did a world tour together, and then he released a live CD DVD called Where the Wild Things Are in 2009. And one of the songs was even nominated for a Grammy. We didn't win. I think we lost to Jeff Beck or something like that.
Oh, that Jeff Beck.
That Jeff Beck, I know.
Gosh.
But yeah.
Guy's such a prima donna. No, I'm kidding. Just great.
Yeah. No, it's really great. I feel very fortunate to be playing with him.
That's very good. When did you first meet Steve Vai, and then how did it come about with you guys playing together?
I first met Steve, I think, in 1995, and it was when I was in Dweezil's band, Dweezil Zappa.
Yeah.
And I actually auditioned for his live band in 1996, and I didn't get it. But I ended up doing some recording with him. We recorded the songs Lucky Charms and Fever Dreams, and they ended up on his album, The Ultrazone. I also recorded a song called Christmas Time Is Here, which is like a cover of an old Charlie Brown Peanuts thing that he did for a guitar Christmas album. And then I just kind of kept recording with him, and then we actually went to Holland together to do this orchestra thing with the Metropole Orchestra in Holland, where they would play his arrangements for orchestra with a rock band rhythm section. And that album ended up being called Sound Theories, and it eventually came out as well. So I had done a bunch of work with him before I did the live band thing. But I'm glad I got to do it all.
Yeah. So now, do you still tour and gig with Steve every now and then, or you're still a member of the band, I'm taking it?
Well, he kind of looks at it like Frank does, like Frank Zappa does, where it's like, I don't think he ever really has a permanent band,
Yeah.
He kind of puts together a tour and then puts together a band for the tour, and then there you go.
Oh, right, right.
So, that tour was in 2007.
Yeah.
So we're talking 4 years ago already.
Yeah.
Now, I am doing a show with him in July. I'm doing a benefit concert in L.A. with him and Joe Satriani co-headlining this benefit concert at the House of Blues in L.A. And he called me for that, so we'll see. I mean, it's been a while since he put out a studio album, so I think he's working on a new one, and then whatever happens then, we'll just see what happens.
Right on. Sounds cool. Hey, just out of curiosity, this is going to be a little off subject a little bit, but did you ever ask him about what it was like playing with David Lee Roth? I mean, is David Lee Roth as crazy as he comes off? Has he ever mentioned stuff like that?
Well, it's the funniest thing about that question is that it's almost like a running gag in the band, which is that, when Steve does an interview, someone will go, "What was it like to be in a band with David Lee Roth?" And then he just makes this face like, I can't believe I have to talk about this again. So he doesn't really talk about it all that often. But I do have one really, really good story.
Yeah.
He was doing a gig in some arena somewhere, on the big tour, the Eat 'em and Smile tour.
Right.
And they're all running around the stage, and Steve tripped on a monitor, on a stage monitor, and totally went down. Just like, I mean, there was no way that he couldn't fall down. And he actually kind of hit his head a little bit, and he was out of it for a second.
Yeah.
So, and he stopped playing, of course, and the whole band stopped. And he said that when he came around, David Lee Roth was standing over him, and he was like, "Dude, you okay?" And Steve was like, Yeah, I'm fine." Just like he felt stupid,
Yeah.
He was about to get up. Dave goes, "Don't get up. Stay there." And so then Dave gets on the microphone, he's walking around going, "Man, I can't believe, I don't know if he's going to be able to finish the show." And he started making a big deal of it, like for about 3-4 minutes. Then he came back over to Steve, and he's like still on the ground. He goes, "Okay, now get up." And make a big deal of it. So when he stood up and put his arms in the air, and the arena went completely crazy.
That's awesome.
And Steve was like, that was what David Lee Roth did better than anybody.
That's great. Well, it must have been fun. You probably heard a lot of stories like that. But now, getting back to what you're doing now, I mean, you're out on the road right now with your wife, Kira Small, and she's also she's a singer, and she's kind of doing like a small tour, and you guys happen to be coming to Grays Harbor, Aberdeen tonight to do a little impromptu thing.
It's true. Kira and I have been touring as a duo, doing like kind of house concerts and coffee shops and small intimate venues, because she's a classic singer-songwriter. I mean, she plays keyboards and she sings. And, there's a tried and true circuit for singer-songwriters to go out there and do this stuff. And a lot of times they travel by themselves. We're traveling as a duo, and we've been having a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, I believe that tonight is going to be our 100th show together.
Wow.
As a duo. We've been doing that for the last 2 years now. And, I do some bass clinics along the way. And there's always something that comes up. It's just easy for us to kind of get in the car and just drive all over the country. And it's great fun, too. We get to have a little, extended honeymoon while we're doing it.
Nice.
But yeah, we will be tonight in Aberdeen at Rosevere's Music, I believe.
Yeah, it's a great music store. I that's where I get all my gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll be. I think it's starting at 7 o'clock. Is that correct?
Yep, 7 o'clock tonight. We got Bill Pitts here with us too in studio too. Bill Pitts, who is, I guess, kind of responsible for bringing you down here. Or
actually, a friend of mine, Ken, is really co-hosting this one here. But I had Kira and Bryan down a while back, and we just had a lot of fun. So.
Right on. Now, I understand Bill here has put together an album that he's been working on, and he managed to get both of you guys to play on it, as well as some other cool names. Dweezil, you were mentioning Dweezil Zappa earlier. Dweezil's playing on it, and a bunch of other of Bill's heroes growing up, and Ty Tabor of King's X is one that pops into my mind. And you guys are on the record as well. And what was your experience of working with Bill here?
Oh, it was awful.
Awful terrible. I knew it, Bill.
No, it was really fun.
How much did it cost you, Bill? Come on. It was a lot of money. I'm sure it was a lot. No.
Oh, yeah. It's many installments still continuing. No, actually, no, it was a lot of fun. And I have a great time doing these, remote sessions, because in the modern day and age, you can do these things from home. You exchange digital files, and you talk to the person who's sending the stuff. And so Bill sent us the music, told us what he was looking for, and we just recorded stuff, and he really dug it. And then he got Kira to sing on it. And
yeah,
it's going to be a great project. I can't wait to hear it come out.
I did have a chance to hear the track though that you played on with Bill, and it's really great. And can I just ask you, Bryan, what you and Kira's reaction was when you first heard the track that he asked you to play on? What was your first thought about it?
Well, first of all, we recorded them at very separate times. He sent me the track a while ago already, and I heard it, and I heard there was room to play the part, and there was also room for me to be me on there, which is what he wanted, which was really cool. And I was like, it's a cool, interesting, and fairly unique track. I just dug it. I had never envisioned actually that there were going to be vocals on it. I just kind of heard it as an instrumental, and then when he wrote back, and he was like, I want it to be vocals, and I want Kira to do it. I was like, that's going to be really cool. And then I heard what Kira did, and I dug it even more.
Well, right on. It's very cool. When I first heard it, I thought, this really has a flavor of Yes to it. I don't know if you thought the same thing, but that was my first thought when I heard it. I don't know. For me, it sounded like kind of like a roundabout kind of a flavor to it. But I know Bill's got lots of eclectic taste when it comes to music. He likes a lot of stuff.
Well, me too. And I'm a big Yes fan, and sometimes that creeps into my writing as well. So. If anything, that probably made it easier to track the song, just because it was just like, okay, I kind of know where this is coming from. Well, whenever you're playing with someone who has listened to a lot of the same music, and I think that Bill and I probably, if you look at our CD collections, they're probably similar. It's going to be easier to connect on that level,
I know. Bryan, it's going to be cool to see you guys tonight at the Rosevere's Music Center. And you guys are going to be playing tonight. We look forward to seeing you and Kira tonight, you and Kira Small. And give her my best. We'll see you tonight.
Great. Thanks so much. And, hope to see you tonight.
Thanks, Bryan. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, guys.